my name is Rachel and I'm here today to do the RuPaul's Drag Race book tag. I'm guessing that's what it's called. No, it's just RuPaul's book tag. This was started by Kaz over at Katsu Camera, so I'll link her channel down below. Go and watch the original video because it's great. I'm still feeling quite sick, so sorry about my voice or whatever is going on with that. I'm really excited to do this tag because I absolutely love RuPaul's Drag Race. It is like the best show ever, only slightly rivaled by RuPaul's Drag Race All Stars, which is also like the greatest show ever. So yeah, straight into the questions, and question number one is Eleganza Extravaganza, your most expensive book purchase. So I don't actually know how much this is in English money, but I think my most expensive book purchase is this coffee table book. So this is from the Kunsthaus Museum in Zurich, which is an art gallery, and this is a book of all the masterpieces that are in there. This was 50 francs, which is like 45 quid, something like that. This is probably the most expensive book that I've bought because most of the expensive books I have I normally just put on Christmas list and get someone else to buy me. But I actually bought this one as I buy a lot of art coffee table books and they are all very expensive and I should stop buying them. Question number two is Pick Crew, and this is aesthetically pleasing books. I'm not going to name all of them because some of them are like collections of books, so I'll just hold them up. So the vintage Russian classics I think are just fucking gorgeous. Pretty much everything vintage does really, as we'll see with the next one. So my Jane Austen vintage collection as well. I just think they are absolutely wonderful. And then I have a few more which are just random ones. So Be Prepared by Vera Brosgal. This is a graphic novel I read recently and it's in my heart at the moment. I'm in love with it right now. Then we have Coraline by Neil Gaiman, and this is the Chris Riddle illustrated edition, which I just think is so fucking cute. The Essex Serpent by Sarah Perry. This is the edition that was like the Waterstones special edition because it was their book of the year. And then we have Homegoing by Yaa Gyasi because I think this is just like the most beautiful cover ever. Even though it's just like a normal book, it's not a special edition, this is just how pretty the book looked. Okay, so we're 2 questions in and the pile of books is already this high, which just seems ridiculous. Like it's 2 fucking questions, Rachel. But anyway, question number 3 is Comeback Queen, an author that you either lost interest in or took ages to bring a new book out and then came back with a bang. So I had an author like spring straight into my mind when I read this question, and that author is Becky Albertalli. So I read Simon vs. Homo Sapiens Agenda by Becky Albertalli and I loved it. I thought it was amazing. It really got me into reading LGBT plus fiction and enjoying it and all that sort of stuff, so I loved it. Then I read Leah on the Offbeat and I was disappointed. I was expecting it to be as good as Simon, but it wasn't. I will say I've reread it last month and it was better than I remembered. I think I just was expecting so much because of Simon that it had to disappoint because my expectations were too high, but it still wasn't as great. And then she released The Upside of Unrequited, which is not very good at all. The only redeeming quality in this book is that there is a female couple as parents in it, and I loved them and I wish they'd had more page time, but they don't because they're not main characters, and everything else was just kind of bland and not enjoyable. So as you can see from that, Becky Albertalli's just steadily gone down for me, and that has been quite sad because I loved Simon so much. Then her and Adam Silvera brought out What If It's Us, and I loved this book so much. It's so good, and it's definitely like reinstated my love of Becky Albertalli. So hopefully her other books go along this kind of line, because it's about 2 boys who meet in New York in the summer and have like a summer romance, and it's so cute. I love it so much. This is amazing, would recommend, and definitely like back with Becky Albertalli for a little bit. We'll see how she goes on. Next is question number 4, Don't Fuck It Up, a sequel you're dying to read, and for that I have 3 answers. So the first one is Wayward Son by Rainbow Rowell, and that's going to be the sequel to Carry On. Very excited for that, as I'm sure a lot of people are. Carry On is kind of like a Harry Potter fan fiction between Draco and Harry. A little bit. That's kind of what you introduce it as and what pulls people in, but it definitely has its own story and it stands on its own, and I would say it works more as a satire of Harry Potter than copying Harry Potter. It definitely does it in a really cool way. Then we have the next one in the Of Fire and Stars series, which I think is called Of Ice and Shadows. These are by Audrey Coulthurst, and I just loved this first book. We follow a princess who is betrothed to a prince from another kingdom. She goes to that kingdom and then she meets his sister, the princess, and you know, feelings develop, and it's very cute and sweet and I love it. And then the last sequel that I'm waiting for is that I recently heard there is a sequel to Call Me By Your Name coming out called Find Me, which I'm a little bit like on the fence about because I feel like it wrapped up really well and I don't want them to like ruin what I have with it, because this is a really highly regarded book for me. I don't want him to ruin it, I don't want him to touch it, but at the same time I'm so excited because I love his writing style, so I kind of trust him to go back to it. So we'll see how I end up finding that, but very excited. Question number 5 is Snatch Game. Who did it better? Compare two books with similar plots, tropes or covers and let us know who did it better. So I am going to go with The Sun Is Also a Star by Nicola Yoon and They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera. Both of these books have two people that meet and it's a romantic kind of relationship developing over the course of 24 hours. This one I didn't really enjoy. I gave this 2 stars. This book follows Natasha, who's about to be deported back to Jamaica, and Daniel, who kind of meets Natasha and falls in love with her. And they fall in love over a 24-hour period. However, I just found it too insta-lovey and just a bit too much. It was too like sickly sweet and I just didn't enjoy it. Whereas in this one, we do have Rufus and Mateo in a similar situation where they meet and they have 24 hours together. But because the premise of this is that you get a call at the beginning of the book saying you're going to die today, you know, live your best last day because you're going to die. The insta-love in it makes a lot more sense because although it is like that, you kind of find yourself thinking, well, if I was in that position, if it was my last day on earth, yeah, I'd want to fucking fall in love, yeah, I'd throw myself into it because you're literally never going to experience it again, you're going to die. So this one, the insta-love annoyed me and I couldn't really get behind what was going on, whereas with this one I feel like there was a lot more like reason that could work and reason for someone to kind of be in an insta-love situation. So even though it was that, it kind of worked for me. So this one definitely did it better by Adam Silvera. Nicola Yoon, not so much. Although I have read Everything by Nicola Yoon and I did really enjoy that book. So not slagging her off as an author, just slagging off this book specifically. And then question number 6 is reading is fundamental. Read some of your favourite books, which means like throw shade or slag off some of your favourite books. So I have picked 4 books that are probably like, if I was going to list off my favourite books of all time, these would probably be the top 4 books. So I'm feeling a little bit anxious about the fact that I'm going to slag them off. I don't like it, don't want to do it, but we're going to do it. So we're going to do it fast because I feel like that'll make me feel better. Harry Potter, whitewash. Wuthering Heights, melodramatic. Oh, that would hurt. Game of Thrones, this one won't hurt. I wish Bran had died at the beginning when he gets thrown out that tower and never had any more chapters because all of his chapters are fucking boring all the way through the series, and when I reread the series I often skip the Bran chapters because Bran bores me to death. So there's that. I don't feel bad about that one. And the last one is The Count of Monte Cristo, which is my favourite book of all time by Alexander Dumas. That space between page 300 and page 400 really needed a heavy edit and is just too much boring political historical stuff that, you know, needed to go so you could get back to the plot. Oh my god, that one really hurt. I adore this book so much. I'm not really slagging it off. It's fine. I'll just pretend I never said it. Question number 7 is RuPaul's best friend race. Tag some people that you want to do the tag. I'm not going to tag anyone specifically because I don't know who watches RuPaul's Drag Race, but if you are watching this video and you want to make this video and you like RuPaul's Drag Race and all of that good stuff, please go ahead and do this video too. Comment it down below so I can go and watch it because I would love to watch that. I just like anything to do with RuPaul. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. I will see you in my next video. Bye!